If we can learn and understand this, then it's going to be much easier for them to know how to live with women. Let me tell you what I mean by this. Is it so difficult to live with women? Is it very difficult? There's a lot that's attached to it, because they are a group of creatures that are very special in the sight of Allah. And Allah himself is the one that will give us the fatwa on how we can live with them. Take, for instance, a woman that is born is already a woman, but a man that is born will have to become a man. This is what I mean. Our mothers give birth to us. We were all born, right? Nobody was downloaded. Everybody was born. And it's a woman that gave birth to us. If you are a woman, or if you are a girl child, you can look at your mother and you see that you are the same all through. Physiologically, physically, sometimes in ways of behavior. A girl child sees the mother like a bigger version of herself. And the mother sees the baby girl as a smaller version, a smaller copy of herself. So the baby girl, because children are usually very close to their mothers, especially at that tender age, a baby girl looks at the mother as somebody she can emulate and be like. That's why at 2 years old, 4 years old, you see the girl will start using her mother's hijab. She will start trying to wear her shoes. If the mother is someone who used to put all this crayon that they normally put, you'll see the girl child will also be trying to do that. She will be present in the kitchen with the mother to do what the mother is doing. And some of them do child's play. They will be cooking, you know, those kind of cooking they normally do to imitate their mother. What of a boy? At a point, a boy begins to discover that no, she's not like me and I'm not like her. Some things that he could have copied easily, he is not able to copy it because he is close to the mother, but there's a limit to that closeness. After a while, he sees that he can't wear the mother's hijab. They say, no, drop it, you are a boy. He says he can't be playing with crayon like the way the mother paints her face. He says, no, 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 a boy is not supposed to do that. At the end of it all, he now grows to an extent, he sees that I'm not like her. What am I supposed to be like? He has to now begin to learn to become a man. To become a man. That's what we say a girl child is, but a boy will have to become. A lot of lessons will now have to be learned for the boy to know what about women, to know how women behave, and to know how to handle women. By the time he grows, if he is lucky, his father will be there to teach him on how to handle women. If his father is not there or not available, or the father doesn't understand that this boy needs to learn how to become a man, then the boy is usually left to grow by himself on his own. These things continue to the extent that the mothers are present to mold their daughters on how to become wives in future. But the fathers may not be conscious enough to understand they also need to mold their sons to become husbands in future. If their child is well trained, at the age of 14 or 15, she already knows how to cook. At the age of 18, 19, she's already thinking that she will get married someday. In fact, at that age, on their own, they can cook for the whole family, unless the mother has been very wicked, that they didn't teach her some of the things to do. She already has an idea of how to take care of the home, and if she wants to do something, say, look, if you keep behaving like this, how are you going to enjoy your marriage tomorrow? Somebody is already talking about marriage for her to hear. And she sees her auntie, she sees her mother, she sees other women, she sees them doing things and talking about marriage. Maybe she even witnessed her mother give birth to another child. So completely, she's packaged as a woman by the time she's matured. But who does that for boys? It seems boys are allowed to just grow on their own. And some of the things that it takes to be a husband, they are hardly taught. Some of them only observe what they see their fathers do. And some of these observations, sometimes they get it wrong. Sometimes they don't understand. And sometimes the father is not there to explain to him that this is why I do this, or this is why I don't do that. In some instances, there's even no sit down and talk between father and son. And we have noticed that a lot. Some fathers are too shy to even talk to their boys about ghusl, about wet dream, about what exactly it takes to actually become the boy that they are supposed to become, or the man that is actually supposed to become. So eventually, you get to see a lot of mismatch, a lot of things not going the way they are supposed to go, because things are not put in place the way they are supposed to be put in place. However, the Prophet ﷺ mentioned one hadith. The Prophet said, "Ma taraktu min ba'di, ma taraktu ba'di fitnatan adarra ala rijali min an-nisa." I did not leave behind me a test that is more tempting to men than women. Because women are very enigmatic, they are very difficult to understand sometimes. Because the word of the men and the word of the women are not exactly the same thing. So the Prophet ﷺ mentioned at the place that they may likely constitute fitna. What is fitna? Trial. How much of a trial are they? Do you know that some men, no matter who dies, they don't cry? The only thing or the only creature that ever makes some men to cry is women. Maybe his wife. Some men will have started their lives as complete gentlemen. Let me put it that way, complete gentlemen. But by the time he gets married, he will just change and become very rough. Very rough to the extent that somebody will not allow anybody to talk anyhow to his younger sister. He will not be the one that will raise his hand and beat his wife. How did it happen like that? Is it that it is the women who make men to behave like that? Or it is men who don't really know how to handle the cases of women? It is a bit complicated. If you see somebody whose life is doing well and going well, look at it, there will be a woman around. There will be a woman around that is responsible for that. And if you see a man that is misbehaving or that is going astray, if you look around very well, I think there should be a woman around. Men can be physically stronger than women. And it often makes it hard to comprehend that these same men that are physically strong will still be afraid of women. There are many people now as we speak, they have fear of women. Sometimes it is phobic, it is circumstantial fear, sometimes it's like a whole lot of fear about women. Some people don't even, because of the way they look at women, they look at them as people to be afraid of. I don't know of anybody who is not afraid of women. I don't know of anyone who is not afraid of. Some people have some secret fear of women in their minds. Some people see them as people of evil. Some people see them as the messengers of Shaitan. Meaning that if Shaitan is busy, he will send a woman. You know, like once you delegate somebody. How many people believe like that? If Shaitan is very busy, then Shaitan will delegate a woman. That, okay, you go and do this job for me. And she will succeed. Most of the time, she succeeds. It now comes to so many ways people look at women. Some people look at them as evil like that. To the extent that some of them even corroborate it. They even show it that they are actually capable of anything. I want everybody to think about the greatness, the greatest of all men that you can think about. Once a woman is involved, that man becomes weak. I want you to think about the worst of all temptations you can ever think about. Once a woman is involved, there will be problem. I want you to think about the best friends you have ever seen. 2 men or 3 men that are best of friends. Once a woman is involved, most likely there will be problem between them. Is this how women are, or it is just that people don't understand women very well? Who can tell me what is the answer? Are women so bad truly? Or is it that we don't have the correct orientation about women? Or is it that we have not studied the kind of great women that Allah referred to in the Quran? Is it the men that are just ignorant? Or it is the women that are so evil? I will not join anybody to call them evil, because Allah didn't say they are evil. Allah didn't say they are evil, and I know that we cannot generalize. The way we have good men, we also have good women. The way we have bad men, we also have bad women. And these genders, some of them, they look at each other as enemies sometimes. Sometimes they are suspicious of one another. And sometimes they find ways of punishing one another, depending on whatever circumstance they have been able to put themselves.